Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March meeting of the Town of Milton Planning Board. Yep, I got it. Welcome to the March meeting of the Town of Milton Planning Board. Ms. Van Dance, would you lead us in the pledge to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I only have one announcement this evening, and that's the Comprehensive Plan Committee did meet on March 4th and began the process of writing a vision statement, the first step in really publishing our plan at this point. The next committee meeting will be on April 1st. They'll continue that work. I'd encourage you to attend. We're really delving into the process of writing the plan, developing it, seeing where it's going to go, and eventually making land use recommendations for the town. So this is going to go on for another 6 to 8 months approximately. But this is the meat and potatoes. We're going to really delve into a lot of stuff. So every meeting, the public has the right to comment, and there will be also some more public sessions as we continue to develop that. Our first order of business this evening is the approval of our February meeting minutes. I will entertain a motion to approve the planning board meeting minutes of February 12th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion or changes to the minutes? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Gula,
Yes.
Ms. Van Denza,
Yes.
Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Ms. Marion,
Yes.
Chairman Barto.
Yes. At this point, we'll open the meeting for public comment. Please note that we do have a public hearing this evening for a special use permit for a cellular tower at 6010 County Farm Road. So if you have comments on that project, if you'd wait until we commence the hearing, your comments will be on the record. We continue to have both virtual and in-person opportunities to comment. So I would ask if you're Zooming and you want to make a public comment, use the hand wave feature. And if everyone would limit their comments to 3 minutes and try to avoid redundant comments. If you have something in writing, please summarize that. And if you'd like to leave us a copy, we'll have them for everybody on the record. Public comment period open at 7:02 p.m. Does anybody wish to address the board at this time? Anybody online?
Nope.
Okay, if not, we'll close the public comment period at 7:03, barely. Okay, our first project this evening is the continued review and public hearing on a special use permit for a cellular tower at 6010 County Farm Road. The planning board has assumed lead agency for the projects. We do need to complete the determination of significance for the State Environmental Quality Review Act. So with that, I will look at the full environmental impact statement, part 2, the identification of project impacts, and we'll go over those, I think, 18 questions. If anybody has a comment or a change from what I'm suggesting we comment on, let me know and we'll stop and discuss that. So the first question is impact on land. Will the proposed action involve any construction on or physical alteration of the land surface of a proposed site? I'm indicating yes, but that all the impacts would be small or none. Second question is impact on geological features. The proposed action may result in the modification or destruction of or inhibit access to any unique or unusual landforms on the sites. I'm saying no. Impacts on surface water. The proposed action may affect one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies. I'm saying no. Fourth question, impact on groundwater. The proposed action may result in new or additional use of groundwater or may have potential to introduce contamination to groundwater or an aquifer. I'm saying no. 5, impact on flooding. The proposed action may result in the development on land subject to flooding. I'm saying no. Question 6, impact on air. Proposed action may include a state-regulated air emission source. I'm saying no. 7, the impact on plants and animals. The proposed action may result in the loss of flora or fauna. I'm saying no. Excuse me. 8, impact on agricultural resources. The proposed action may impact agricultural resources. I'm saying no. 9, impact on aesthetic resources. The proposed action are obviously different from or are in sharp contrast to current land use patterns between the proposed project and a scenic or aesthetic resource. I'm saying no. 10, impact on historic and archaeological resources. The proposed action may occur in or adjacent to a historic or archaeological resource. I'm saying no. Impact on open space and recreation. The proposed action may result in the loss of recreational opportunities or reduction of an open space resource as designated in any adopted municipal open space plan. I'm saying no. 12, impact on critical environmental areas. The proposed action may be located within or adjacent to a critical environmental area. We have none in the town, so I'm saying no. 13, impact on transportation. The proposed action may result in a change to existing transportation systems. I'm saying no. The proposed action may cause an increase in the use of any form of energy. I'm saying no. Impact on noise, odor, and light. The proposed action may result in an increase in noise, odors, or outdoor lighting. I'm saying no. 16, impact on human health. The proposed action may have an impact on human health from exposure to new or existing sources of contamination. I'm saying no. 17, consistency with community plans. The proposed action is not consistent with adopted land use plans. I'm saying no. And then 18, consistency with community character. The proposed action is inconsistent with existing community character. I'm saying no. Does anybody have any comments or questions on those questions? Okay. And having evaluated the potential impacts and found that there are no significant adverse environmental impacts and that any impacts such as on land are minor or can be mitigated, I will entertain a motion for the chair to complete and sign the full environmental assessment form part 3, evaluation of impacts and determination of significance, finding that the project will result in no significant adverse impacts on the environment, and therefore an environmental impact statement need not be prepared. Accordingly, a negative declaration is issued. Do I have a motion for that?
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Whittle, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Right. Any discussion or comments? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Gula,
Yes.
Van Danza,
Yes.
Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Ms. Marion,
Yes.
Chairman Barto.
Yes. Okay. Having completed our State Environmental Quality Review Act obligations, I'd also note that the Zoning Board of Appeals has granted the area variance for the height associated with this project. And we've also received from the county their 239 review, noting there will be no countywide or intercommunity impacts. Does the applicant have any updates for us this evening?
Thank you, Chairman. Attorney Hyde Clark with Young Summer. Just in addition to the area variance relief that was granted, just wanted to note that the applicant did revise its site plan pursuant to comments from this board about the access road.
Okay.
We have shifted that access road and shown an update on our plan. And so that should be in front of the board as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Maruso isn't here. Ms. Town designated engineer, Ms. Biancani, do you have any comments at this point?
I reviewed Sophia's comment letter or memo, which I think was very thorough. It's rather lengthy because it goes through each aspect of it. I don't have any comments on the plan. I did review the decommissioning
Yep.
value and provided you all with an escalation for that for you to consider, but I don't have anything additional.
Okay.
Just on the decommissioning, the applicant's willing to establish a bond at that total amount. So it won't be an escalating bond, but we will establish
The
full
total of
amount
3% over
as it
20
goes
years.
escalated. Thank you.
Okay. Does the board have any questions at this point before we go to hearing and comments? Okay. At this point, I'll open the public hearing for the special use permit for a cellular tower at 610 County Farm Road. Again, we have both virtual and in-person opportunities for comments. So if you're Zooming, please use the hand wave feature. Again, limit your comments to 3 minutes, and if you have something in writing, please summarize them and you can leave them with the board. I will open the public hearing at 7:09 PM. Does anybody choose to address the board during this hearing? Anybody online?
Nope.
Anybody from the board want to make a comment during the hearing? Okay, I guess we're going to adjourn at 7:10 PM. Oh, wait, I need to take a motion to close the public hearing at 7:10 PM.
Motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
any further discussion? There being no further discussion, please poll the board on closing the hearing.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Ms. Padula,
Yes.
Ms. Mandanza,
Yes.
Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Ms. Marin,
Yes.
Chairman Barto.
Yes. Okay, the board has reviewed the project following the criteria for site plan review pursuant to the standards of the town code, section 18053, subsections A through N. Does the board have any other comments or changes as to the consistency of these standards to the project? They've all been outlined in the resolution before you.
I have a question. I
Sure.
want to clarify the total amount that you're willing to put up. And the exact number rather than as we said.
Yeah, so, Mary Beth, I don't know if you have I think it's like 130.
I have it here.
So the starting value is $73,000 and the estimated
Microphone.
here. Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that. The starting value is $73,000 per year. The applicant provided us with a list of the decommissioning elements. We reviewed that and we agree with their assessment. So the beginning value is $73,000. We then escalated that value compounded annually by 3% for 20 years. So the total value of the escalation is $55,005.94. Bringing the total of the entire amount, $73,000 plus $55,005.94 to $128,005.94.
So I think we would do 129.
$128,005.94.
Or just
Round it
round
up.
it to a whole number.
Sure, whatever you want.
Yeah. 129 or 128.
Okay.
Important. Like,
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and then I know, Mary Beth, you had some questions on the decommissioning plan, but I think we found that full thing. Did you have any substantive questions?
we're
on
all
it?
set with that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we've done that following our standards for site plan review, and we are also have a special use permit before us and considering the public health, safety, and general welfare of the public surrounding the neighborhood and following the objective standards for special use permits set forth in 18041 subsections A through K. Does anybody have any comments or questions about the standards for the issuance of the special use permit? Okay. Then finally, we have considered the supplemental regulations under the regulations of Article 7, subsection 8039.1 for cellular towers. So having duly considered the applicable criteria for the site plan dated November 22nd, 2024, revised again February 7th, 2025. I just want to confirm that's the dates of the plan were for site plan. Everybody's good. And the application for a special use permit dated November 22nd, 2024. I will entertain a motion to approve the site plan and special use permit for a cellular tower at 6010 County Farm Road, subject to the following conditions. And the conditions are: 1, the applicant, owners, successors, and assigns an operator shall, at their own expense, remove the entire facility, including tower, antennas, and accessory facilities, immediately upon discontinuance of the use, and shall reasonably restore the site to its original conditions. And 2, the applicant's owner, successors, assigns an operator shall, at their own expense, execute and file with the town clerk a bond or other undertaking in such a final form and amount sufficiency as approved by the town board but not less than $73,000 together with a 3% annum escalation for a total of $128,005.94 in year 20. Such security shall guarantee the faithful performance of the obligations under the Town Code, Section 18039.1. Upon default by the applicant, owner, successors, assigns, and operators to fulfill the removal of the obligations, the security filed with the town clerk shall be forfeited to the town of Milton, and the town shall be entitled to perform the obligations. Everybody good with those conditions?
Just one comment based on our recent tower called Milton West. We did negotiate that it will be a bond. So I just note that in your resolution, it said or other surety. I think we're in agreement with the town board. That's going to be a bond.
Yeah, that's the town board's thing. So as long as you're in agreement with them, that would be fine.
Yeah, I just wanted, that's what we're going to be. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, all right. Do I have a motion for that? Bernadette, thanks. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Whittle. Any further discussion? Anybody online? Nope, there being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Padula,
Yes.
Ms. Van Denza. Yes. Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Ms. Marin. Yes. Chairman Barto.
Yes. Okay, we're done. Good. Thank you very much. And thank you for the consideration of the driveway change and entrance.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There's the resolution. And also, do you need this to go with that? So she got that. Okay, next we have, once again, a request for a 90-day extension of the preliminary plat for a major subdivision at 336 Rowland Street. The project continues to have delays with the Department of Environmental Conservation approval for sewer service connection to the Saratoga County Sewer District. We last extended this approval on December 24th and have another request to extend it for an additional 90 days. Anybody have any questions, or Mary Beth, do you have anything on this? Nope. If not, I will entertain a motion to extend the preliminary plat approval for a major subdivision at 336 Rowland Street from April 6th. I want to just make sure we got the same dates.
Yeah, there's no limit.
Yes.
Only for the final.
April 6th, 2025 to July 6th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Whittle. Second.
I second.
Any discussion or any questions? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Padula,
Yes.
Ms. Van Denza. Yes. Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Ms. Marin. Yes. Chairman Barto.
Yes. Okay, so that's extended. Next, we have the Milton Solar Project before us for this month with a request for an extension for their special use permit. We approved the site plan and special use permit for this project on September 15th, 2023, subject to several conditions. The site plan has no limit, but the special use permit has a 6-month limit. We last granted an extension of this permit or the site special use permit on September 15th, 2024. The permit expires on March 15th, and they have needed to demonstrate to us that the project's been commenced or diligently pursued, for which the applicant has provided us such documentation. The applicant here, would you like to address the board at all?
By February 24th, we provide a letter and with the different activities that we are pursuing, and we would like to explain the board where we are in this list of activities. One was the acquisition of the parcel that was on Friday last week, so we are good. The second item was to complete the building permit application at submitting. There are two main items. One, the civil works to be produced by Creighton Manning. This has already been completed. The second is the electrical drawings. We are 60% at this moment completed of the electrical work. We assume that by next week or in 2 weeks, it will be completed and submitted. The next is the entering into a agreement with the forestation company. We have already entered into a PEC, the forestation company. We acknowledge that end of March it's tight. That's why we have contact with the DEC, and the DEC first give us in a letter that there is no restriction on tree cutting according to them. This is one of the copies of the letter. So
Okay.
it's still our plan. It's still our plan to start the forestation as soon as possible, but we acknowledge that this end of March may be a little bit tight. So that's why we produced this consultation to the DEC, and they confirmed that after review.
Thank you.
The 30th of March, it's not at that limit.
Thank you.
And finally, yes, we have an agreement with LBF New York. It's a EPC contractor, a construction company located in West Syracuse, and it is our intention to start the works by May this year. Considering this situation, we respectfully request the board to give us an extension to complete the building application and start the works by May this year.
Okay. Does the board have any questions on this? Okay, then I would entertain a motion to grant a 6-month extension from March 15th, 2025 to September 15th, 2025 for the Milton Solar Project Special Use Permit, subject to the same conditions as originally granted on September 15th, 2023.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
yes. Ms. Van Denza, yes. Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Miss Marin, yes. Chairman Barto.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Luis. Yeah. Okay, finally, this evening, we have the continued review of the site plan and special use permit for a drive-through for a McDonald's restaurant at 10 Trieble Avenue. The applicant was last before us in January. They've been working quite diligently with our planner, the town designated engineer, and even the zoning board of appeal on final site layouts. I believe we have some completed site plans this evening. Mr. Wilson, any additional comments?
So yes, as you mentioned, since last we saw you, yes, we were working with the planner, the town engineer, we made. We were in front of the ZBA a couple times and so here. So, yes, and, to be honest, so we had 2 meetings with the ZBA, and by the second one, I didn't feel it was really going that well. To get the variance, at last we saw you, we needed a variance for the drive-through canopy because we were within that 10-foot maximum, or that front setback.
Yep.
McDonald's and I and the architect, we regrouped here a little bit. So here's what we have done. to match the town code, we have,
Steve, can you take the microphone?
oh, sorry. Is that on? Yes. So what we did is, we changed the angle on these parking spaces to 45, which allowed us to bring this drive aisle down to 16 feet, which per the town code. So that gave us this flexibility to slide the entire building and the drive-through up on the site, which has allowed us to pull everything back. And at the same time, we kind of split the drive-through lane and the bypass lane. So now we have, we put the columns here between the two lanes. We widened this from 10 feet to 12 feet just to give us a little bit more flexibility with plowing and everything now that we have this curved island here. So now we're going to bring the drive-through canopy, we're going to cantilever it over those columns. And so we're inside the sweet spot between that 15 and 10 foot required setback. And whoops. So that's what we had before, if you remember last, we have it. And so this is what it looks like now. Again, so the drive-through lane, the bypass lane, and here's are going to be our center island striped with an island here in the center with the columns, and we cantilever over it to get again into that area there. So it takes away the variance. We still meet the intent of the design guidelines, we feel, and it's still project. In some ways, I think I like this canopy design better. Now that I see it that way, it's like the other one was bigger and longer, maybe overpowered the side of the building. Maybe this fits a little bit better, but I don't know, that's kind of your choice, but it does meet the intent of what we discussed last, while avoiding the need for the variance.
And that's the only substantive change, really.
It, I know we got some, we've done a couple submissions in the meantime. I know Mary Beth and the team have reviewed it. We got some last comments. I know we still need some things to clean up. I'm sure you're gonna want to look again at circulation with changes in that drive aisle that I mentioned, but we have the trucks moving through there fine. It's not gonna be a problem. So substantively, we haven't even changed, just to point out too, this curb line is in the same spot. None of this has changed between the sidewalk, the landscaping, and all that along there has stayed the same. We're still working in the same, basically, limit of disturbance on the property. None of that has changed. But the only changes, I guess I should change, shifting the parking down to the 45. We lost 2 spaces up here. We used to have a row of 12. Now we have a row of 10, which brings our overall count down to 32. Which is still more than what code requires, which is 21. So that was the only kind of impact of the site. We lost 2 parking spaces up there.
Do you have some renderings that show us what this will look like from Trieble Avenue, or I'm sorry, Rowland Street? Looking in, I see you've put some landscaping in there.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah, on that.
I don't have, this render doesn't match exactly the way the landscaping is. It actually, our proposed landscaping is more robust than what the architect used here. We're gonna have a continuous row of low-lying landscaping along that entire edge there with the sidewalk.
And that's the Rowland Street, kind of creating like a barrier.
That's right, absolutely, yes. If you go back to, okay, you can see here, we got the street tree along with landscaping throughout.
So if pedestrians were going to enter from Rowland Street, they're pretty much going to go down,
Yeah, well, we
have to come all the way around.
connections.
Yep, that's on
Here.
Trieble.
Yeah. And I guess, yeah, they're coming in this direction, they go there. Yeah. That's all, that hasn't changed from the last.
Yep, no. And where is your signage at this point?
Mine signs will be right down here in the corner, kind of book match the Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay. Does the board have any questions?
I had one quick question. You had contemplated, and thank you for moving that around. That looks good. Yeah. You had contemplated a sign on the building too. Are you going with a sign on the building?
That's right. We'll have signs on the building.
Okay.
Yeah. Be an arch on the building and the word McDonald's, all within, we're not gonna ask any variances for signage to be consistent with what the town code allows.
All right. I just wanted to see if you've made up your mind on that. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, this is typical signage that's on the McDonald's, yeah. The arch and the word mark, they call it.
And that's on the front end. You also have that
And on the side.
Rowland Street
Okay.
side.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Do you have a picture of what the other sign that's on the ground, if you will, looks like? I don't remember if we saw
I
that.
don't have a rendering of that, but I can certainly provide that as part of our next meeting. It's gonna be a monument sign. It's gonna be very similar to what the Dunkin' Donuts had.
Here's the mic, please.
Oh, it's gonna be very similar to the, it's gonna be a monument sign. It'll be very similar to what Dunkin' Donuts has.
What like colors, you know what I mean? Do you know what the,
They're typically matches somewhat of the red and yellows, typical of McDonald's. I can bring an elevation next time for sure, what that monument sign is gonna look like.
And if you could let us know what's lit and unlit on all the signs.
So I know it's off to the county, and I guess they're gonna look at it on the 20th. Procedurally, is it possible to wrap up seeker tonight and schedule a public hearing?
That's possible.
Okay.
Just Mary Beth, do you have comments for us?
Hello. So thank you for all your hard work to try and make this work. So Sophia had a few comments on landscaping, which I know you have. So you'll be looking at those.
Yep.
And we had sent you some other kind of very minor technical comments. I did finally get stormwater comments, so I'll get those over to you.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to change anything that you're doing. It's more about adding a calculation and describing things in the SWIP. So I don't think any of these comments, they're all very technical, are going to change anything from a seeker perspective, from an environmental impact perspective, or would be anything that would majorly modify the site plan with respect to having the documentation of the public in advance of a hearing. So without boring everyone with all these very, very technical little details, I think we'll continue to work on the details, and I don't see any reason why the board can't consider seeker if they so
Okay.
choose.
Jim?
Is there some reason why the canopy is not over the drive-through window? In your bottom right picture, it shows the
Or
drive-through.
to center it, kind of put it center over the building. Go back to the site.
I guess I missed that previously, but
Yeah, so it's a 3-window system.
oh, okay.
Yep. Like right in the center. of the building.
I got
So
you.
it is over one of the windows or none of them?
Well, the windows themselves have the kind of the traditional short canopy
Yeah.
to keep things out of the rain as you're passing them between car and building, but the larger canopy is right in the center of the building.
Since there are 3 windows, I understand that.
Yeah.
It's just that.
And anybody else got anything? I got one other comment. I just wanted to say that we do typically have a dark sky lighting component. So as you do the lighting plan, to the extent that you can meet a dark sky, just curious about how any side lighting on the buildings, are the signs going to be lit, or we prefer sometimes like gooseneck lighting that put on the signs as opposed to just bright sign being out.
Yeah, well, I think our intent was that they would be interior illuminated. I guess we can look at the light level of those signs.
Yeah.
Don't most of the signs in the district, aren't they interior illuminated?
Not all of them. We've been trying to get away from that a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, let's face it, 99% of the customers are going to know where McDonald's is. They're not, it's not like you're driving off the Northway and attracting people. Everybody knows where McDonald's in Milton is going to be.
Well, you say that, but a large part of the business is impulse driven traffic.
Yeah.
People just kind of driving by. So having that recognition is kind of important.
But you'll see, like we did on Napa, we had the gooseneck lighting that came over and pointed at the lettering as opposed to the lettering being illuminated.
All right, take a look.
Any other comments at this point? If not, we do have an obligation to finish our environmental impact assessment under the short environmental assessment form. So this is a short form. I will go through the 11 questions that are here. If the board has any comments or questions about what I'm recommending our impact assessment to be, just stop me and we can discuss it. So question number 1, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? I'm saying no. 2, will the proposed action result in the change in the use or intensity of land use? I'm saying no. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? I'm saying no. Will the proposed action have an impact on an environmental characteristic that caused the establishment of a critical environmental area? I'm saying no, we don't have any critical environmental areas. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Saying no. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? I'm saying no. Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies? It's on a public water supply and a public wastewater treatment facility, and I'm saying no to both. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? I'm saying no. 9, will the proposed action result in the adverse change to natural resources, e.g. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, or fauna? I'm saying no. 10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential of erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? I'm saying no. 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? And I'm saying no. Does anybody have any comments or questions on those impacts?
I would just say you said no to everything, but technically it is no or small impact may occur,
True,
right?
but in most
think
cases,
we
I'm also
should,
saying no to.
that
But yes,
can be
you are
some
correct.
small impact.
Yes. Okay. Then I will entertain a motion for the chair to complete and sign the short environmental assessment form, part 3, the determination of significance, and complete a negative declaration. Can I have a motion on that?
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Van Denza. Yes. Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Ms. Marin,
Yes.
Chairman Barto.
Yes. Okay, next, if everyone's comfortable, I will entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing for a special use permit for a drive-through associated with the McDonald's at 10 Trieble Avenue for 7:05 PM on Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? There being none, please pull the board.
Mr. Marsicano,
Yes.
Padula,
Yes.
Ms. Van Denza,
Yes.
Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
Ms. Marin,
Yes.
Chairman Barto.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
no problem.
See you next one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any other business to be brought before the board this evening? There being none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:39 PM. Motion?
I so move.
Second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
I-
Opposed, nay. We're adjourned. Thank you.